Hey there, guys. Zeke the Geek here, and I I have something in the works, a special something in the works for this special occasion. That video will go up sometime today or tomorrow. But I wanted to get a video out for you guys to celebrate this special occasion. Um, uh, Today, August 11th, 2025, marks a very special anniversary. Um, it is the uh, the 10th year of Zeke Said So. I've been at least of Zeke Said So, the YouTube channel. This about 10 years ago today, I put up my very first video. I don't know if you guys can see that. You guys probably can't because it's the lighting here. There we go. Published August 11th, 2015. It was a slideshow kind of going through the box office reports. Yeah. Yep, movies like Ant-Man, Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation, Vacation, um, uh, Vant Four Stick was also featured in this video. Um, and look, I can't even begin to. I can't even begin to even remotely say that it's been 10. I can't even put it into words. Like, how is that even possible? The fact that it's been 10 years. Um, so what I wanted to do in this video is I wanted to kind of talk about a few things. What led to me starting the channel, um, some of my favorite memories from making YouTube videos, and talk a little bit for you guys about the future of the channel and the future of everything going on in Zeke Said So, the podcast, all that kind of stuff. So sit back, grab your popcorn, grab your sodas or your whatever beverage you want, and let's talk about this. Let's delve into this. So, I guess I can start from where my love of movies began. I became fascinated with films from a very young age. Probably around 7 is when I became really obsessed with movies. When I got the bug for movie watching, and I just became instantly obsessed with it. Was watching movies, all different kinds of movies, watching behind the scenes of movies, and really like understanding the art form. And then by the time I was 9 years old is when I decided I wanted to become a filmmaker. So that love of movies kind of progressed into my life in such a interesting way because it was one of the things that brought me a lot of joy in my young youth. I was not a very popular kid in school. Without getting too much into details, I moved around a lot growing up, and so it was hard for me to make friends. And really, the only thing I really had was my family and movies. Growing up as a kid who would go to church and watch all these like fun little cartoons on like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network and Disney Channel. Movies were always at the center of it, to the point where there was an entire summer where all I did every day was pop in a DVD on a DVD player and just watch the behind the scenes of a specific movie, and I would try to pretend that I was on a movie set in some weird way. I would, in my head, I would imagine myself on a movie set. Like, how would I work as a director? And that love for film was so prevalent as a kid, and it's still very prevalent to this day. You know, I really can't imagine a world in which I am not a fan of film. Um, where I don't find myself watching at least one movie per week, or even going to the movies twice a week, I can't imagine a life where that part of it will ever end, you know. Now, who knows? But I can't imagine myself where that will ever happen. I mean, just the fact that I have all these posters alone should show you the love I have for stuff like this. Um, but during that time, I didn't have a lot of people to talk about movies with. I did not have a lot of people who could talk about movies the same way that I wanted to. I wanted to talk about these, like the visual style, the way the acting was, and all this other stuff. I really wanted to talk to people about that, but a lot of people in my life, specifically my family members, were not invested in that way. When they would see a movie, they'd be like, "Yeah, that was good." But for me, it was always like, "What'd you think of the cinematography? What'd you think of the acting? What'd you think of this? What'd you think of that?" And it was never. They never. It always made me feel like the odd man out in a way, because I had that such passionate love for film that I wouldn't just look at. It wasn't just like, oh, obviously you want the story to be good in a movie. You want the stories to be great. You want the script to be good. But for me, it was always about not just the story. It wasn't even just about the entertainment value of the film. It was about what is it from a visual perspective? What is it from a sound editing, mixing, the cutting, the cutting of the scenes, the editing, and all that kind of stuff? What is all that? Like, how well does that work, and how much does it help to enhance the story? And that was always important to me growing up. So much so that I began kind of going on YouTube, and I discovered that there were movie news shows. I started with Clever Movies. I don't know if you guys remember Clever Movies, but I started with Clever Movies, watching that show, and then watching their videos on YouTube, and then watching the It's a Wrap show. I don't know if you guys ever, if you guys were watching movie news stuff back then, but watching stuff like that. And that just furthered my love for movies. That just furthered the fandom a little more, and I discovered a lot of movies that I hadn't seen, or maybe that I wasn't allowed to watch. I discovered a lot of movies through there, yeah, it was just really amazing. It was just an amazing thing to look at. But then in 2014. I stumbled upon one YouTuber by the name of Chris Stuckman. Now, Chris Stuckman is now about to direct a neon horror film. His movie Shelby Oaks is now getting a release on October 3rd. Can't wait for that movie. But I'm very excited for Shelby Oaks. But Chris Stuckman, I remember watching the first review. I want to say it was his review for. X-Men Days of Future Past. I want to say it was his review for X-Men Days of Future Past. And I discovered it, and I was like, you know what? I want to watch more of this. Like, I like this, And I discovered that Chris Stuckman was kind of on a similar path, not 100% similar. I'm not saying we have the same exact life, but very similar in the sense that we both I share his passion for movies. I share his love for it. I share his love for the art form, and the fact that he wanted to be a filmmaker too. That he had hopes and aspirations of becoming a director. That was always great, and that's continually to inspire me to this day. And then I discovered other YouTubers like Jeremy Johns and the Flick Pick, Schmoes Know. That led me to discover AMC Movie Talk and John Campion, John Schnepp, all these other great online people within the online film space. And it was just and watching all those, seeing all these people who had this love for film, I became I felt like I was like, oh, it was for the first time I realized, oh, I'm not the only one who loves this stuff. I'm not the only one who loves this stuff as much as, like there are people who love movies as much as I do, and I think that's so great. And so, right around 2015 is when I decided I wanted to do something like that. I wanted to start a YouTube channel. Now maybe my videos don't get. I'll say that I was a stupid, naive little kid thinking that you could become a millionaire on YouTube. That's absolutely not the case. As I've learned 10 years being on YouTube, this has taught me a very valuable lesson of don't have hopes and aspirations of doing this for a living. That's one piece of the lesson that I've learned over 10 years. But I started my YouTube channel, and that was just an immediate, it was like, okay, but what videos do I want to do? And originally, I didn't really think of putting myself on camera. I didn't think about putting myself on camera. I just thought of, maybe just doing little slideshows of little slideshows, and maybe do something like where we show a picture of a movie, like the box office report, doing the top 5 box office films, have each poster up, and then have a big number and big title card in front of it, do stuff like that. Because also I was playing around with editing softwares too. I was playing around with various different editing softwares. I didn't really picture myself putting myself on camera in front of the internet. And then I saw Fans 4 Stick on my birthday weekend. Which that... of all the movies I could have chosen to see on my birthday weekend, all the movies I could have chosen to see on my birthday weekend, I chose Fans 4 Stick. Oh, thank goodness we finally got a good Fantastic Four movie, but it was such a strange choice to choose this really terrible movie for my birthday weekend, and it was so bad that I wanted to get on camera. Now, if you go back and watch that Fans 4 Stick review, I sound like this. This is exactly how I sound. Here we go. Fantastic Four. This movie is not good. This movie is not good at all. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me right by doing that, because guess what? You can't hear me in that video either. You would have to have your headphones on a full volume to finally just hear a little bit of what I sounded like. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna listen to this and see how this turns out. Let's hear it.
What's up, YouTube? Today I am giving you a review for Fantastic Four.
Man, speak up, kid. Speak up. Speak up, you moron. What are you doing? But that was that was just the start of it. I laugh at that. I make fun of myself there, but that was just the start of it. Obviously when one thing I can say is, anybody who wants to ask me for advice on how to start a YouTube channel, I always tell them, you're gonna be shy when you first get on camera for the first time. It is not it's not the it takes a lot of courage to put yourself on camera. I get nervous whenever somebody's watching my videos in front of me. I cringe hard, especially when anybody's watching those videos, those early videos, the last Airbender review slash rant video, the movie collection 1 and 2 videos, the Revenant review. Let's see. All these older videos. Now, a lot of my old videos aren't on YouTube. Unfortunately, they kind of got erased. But go back and I watch some of these videos, and I'm like, wow, I cringe. Like, honestly, I cringe hard when I watch these things. And it's not that I think they're bad. It's just that I've learned so much since doing those videos that I don't look at them the same way that I used to. Now I look at them and I cringe, and I'm like, oh, I wish I had done this differently. I wish I had done that differently. And that's also why a lot of those early videos are not on the channel anymore. Because they're so bad. But there have been... but yeah, that was kind of the lead up to starting the channel. And I guess I can talk about like some of my favorite moments and some of my favorite videos, but I guess my favorite year of being on YouTube, it's a tie between two. It's a tie. 2017 was a great year. That was a really great year. And 2022. Yeah, 2022 was also a standout year for me. Because I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why 2020 I'll tell you why 2017 was a standout year for my YouTube channel, because that was when I was uploading videos like regularly, consistently, just bam 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 bam. Reviewing every movie I saw that summer, doing trailer reactions and movie news videos. I was just go, 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 go. And it was also a highlight because that was the first year that my good friend, Robert Martinez, starred on was one of the people who would pop up in my videos left and right. And that was like kind of the first year that we would do collaborations. We did a collaboration review on The Last Jedi. Did a bunch of collab videos since then, but 2017 was kind of the first year where I remember vividly just kind of every single weekend I was uploading a new video, and I also was filming on what did I do with my... Do I have my camera around here? I don't think I do. I just kicked the thing over. I don't think I have my camera around. Oh, here's the bag. I think it's in the bag here. Give me one moment, guys. Just grab this here, because this camera, and I still use this camera to film my short films and stuff like that. I still use this camera, but this was the camera that I had used to record my my YouTube videos on for the longest time. I was using this camera. I still use it to, again, film my short films and film projects and stuff like that. And one of the things that I absolutely miss about that time in particular, because that was one of the best summers I ever had, because it was the summer before my senior year of high school, and that was honestly one of the best summers ever. I would like even before the summer started, like even while I was in school, I would come home from school and immediately think about what video do I want to make, what movie review do I want, what movie do I want to review? Because I was also doing like the Throwback Thursday reviews where I was reviewing older films. I was like, oh, what do I want to what movie do I want to review? What video do I want to make today? You know, like it was almost like that that opening of Spider-Man Homecoming where Peter's coming out of school and all he wants to Peter's just looking at the clock waiting for the day to be over so he can go out and, you know, do his Spider-Man thing. Like that was me, but with YouTube. You know, like I would be there at school and I just sit there and just like, oh, come on, you know. And day would end, I'd come home from school and I'd immediately just want to make videos. Screw doing homework. I want to make YouTube videos. I want to do that. I want to do that. You know. So I fell in love with it. Now, let me just say this also: stay in school, kids. Don't skip out on homework. Do your homework first, and then make your YouTube videos. But I was that was just the excitement and my creative juices just flowed, and they were exciting. And not that every bit of it was easy. It wasn't easy because, you know, I'll say this. I'll tell this story. I've never shared. I don't think I've shared this publicly. Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. But let's just say. I'll just say, and I'm not calling anybody. I'm not going to call anybody out because I don't. I think that's to call somebody out. To call any names publicly and point fingers. That's petty. But what I will say this is, you know, I was taking video production. I took video production all 4 years of high school, and in my first 2 years, those were very miserable times because I went into video production wanting to prove myself that I knew that I could be a director, that I could do the things that I wanted to do. And I was never given an opportunity to. I was thrown in groups where I was just used as either an extra actor or the editor. I wasn't given the opportunity to write a script or direct anything or be a producer on anything because either they didn't see it or they, you know, because both groups I was in, it was only about getting a good grade. And to me, it was never just about getting a good grade. Obviously, getting a good grade is important. You don't want to not get a good grade. It's obviously very important to make sure you pass your classes. But for me, the important thing was I wanted to make something that could be entertaining. I wanted to make something that could prove to people that this is the passion I have for it, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to continue to do stuff like this. And I never once it's just so it's interesting because I very much felt like I felt like handcuffed in a way. Like, I know that I can do this, and you're not letting me do it. I know that I can do this stuff creatively, but now you're not letting me do it, you know? And that was a challenge, and I knew that once sorry, just had to do something here. I knew that once I started my YouTube channel, I made the decision very early on that I was not going to let anybody tell me what videos I can or cannot make, what I can or cannot talk about, what I can or cannot say. I knew that I was not going to let anybody tell me that. I was not going to let anybody handcuff me creatively. And I still stand by that. I don't let everything you see on this channel, everything that is said, done, seen, it's because I allow it to be done and seen. I allow it to be done, seen, said, whatever. You know? I am not the kind of person who just feels like. Now I'll hear people's opinions. I'll hear people say, "Oh, hey, maybe." I'll listen to people's opinions. I'll listen to anybody's opinion. But at the end of the day, and I don't want to sound like a snobby. I don't want to sound like some pretentious a hole. But it, I'm. It's my creative expression, and I was in a situation where I did not use my creative expression, and this gave me the opportunity to use that creative expression, and that's kind of the real reason why I made that promise that I wasn't going to let anybody just be like, no, you can't do that. Oh no, you can't say that. You can't say that on the internet. Now, obviously, if, unless it's very out of line, like a racial slur or a whatever, or a derogatory term, then yeah, obviously that's not ending up on if and I say that to anybody who's going to be on my channel. If you say something that I find completely inappropriate, it's not ending up in the video. I say that to every single person who has ever ended up on my YouTube channel or podcast, is that if you say something that sounds completely inappropriate, then I'm not gonna put it on there. Now there are certain things that I'd let go, but that's just how I've stood by things. I've always stood by my own kind of creative, my artistic expression. So yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah. But I talked about 2017 being a very standout year, and also 2022. Basically, that entire time period from 2022 all the way to 2023 was a really good standout year. Those were two really standout years for me as well, because I started the out of the theater reactions. The first out of the theater reaction I ever did was I'm trying to think, because there were some times where I would do like movie reviews from outside the theater, and those were kind of like the origins of the out of the theater reactions. Those were kind of like the early versions of those. But I'm trying to think. The first out of the theater reaction I ever did was I know what it was. I'm looking at it now. It was Mortal Kombat, the 2021 remake of Mortal Kombat. That was the first ever out of the theater reaction I ever did. Then I would do one a whole year later with Uncharted, and that eventually led to me just doing them from that point. Did one for Barbarian, did one for Clerks 3, Pearl, Smile I did one for, Halloween Ends, Black Adam, Wakanda Forever, The Menu, Avatar The Way of Water, and then through 2023 I did a whole bunch of them, John Wick, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Fast X, The Flash. The Flash actually being one of my most popular ones. Transformers Rise of the Beast. The first one Michael ever appeared in, which was Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Oppenheimer I did one for. Barbie I did one for. Haunted Mansion, Ninja Turtles, Expendables, which Expendables, I think that's the most people that have ever watched my channel. My Expendables 4 out of the theater reaction has 77,000 views. Now that's the other thing. I'm not the most viewed YouTuber by any stretch of the imagination, but that for some reason a lot of people tuned in for that out of the theater reaction. And I continue to do them to this day. I continue to do out of the theater reactions. And I love doing them. I really love doing them. So And I've always thought about, like, because I knew I was always gonna say what my favorite video was that I've ever made on my channel. And man, it's so tough for me to really pick because I've made so many fun. There's been so many fun ones. There's been so many really enjoyable like reviews that I've done and all that stuff. But I think my favorite review I've ever done. My Okay, I'll say this: favorite review. My favorite movie review that I've ever done is actually one that I believe I saved it on my Google Drive. I might upload it again, but I don't know yet. They have to give me some time to think about it. But Robert and I did a review of the entire Transformers franchise. As we were leading to the release of Bumblebee, we did a review for the entire Transformers franchise up until that point. And that is one of the most chaotic videos I've ever made because Robert and I were just acting completely ridiculous. At one point, Robert throws starts throwing things at me. At one point, I at one point he jumped on top of me and started like attacking me. Like it was just a crazy video. All in fun, by the way. All in fun. It wasn't like he was purposely being an asshole, but it was all in fun. We were just goofing around, just having fun, trashing on the Michael Bay Transformers movies. Some of them I like 1 and 3. I'll just say that I like 1 and 3. Yeah, we were just trashing on the Michael Bay Transformers movies. And that was fun. Like, that was a lot of fun for me. So I think that might be my favorite review I've done, but, oh gosh, favorite video. You know what? When I think about my favorite video and I think about how much fun we had making it, it has to be War for the Geeks. That was so much fun. And I would love, maybe when we reach the 10-year of that, maybe once we reach the 10-year, which will be in 2019, because the original upload for War of the Geeks was 2019. Maybe when the 10-year of that hits, me, Robert, and Austin, who I still talk to, can get on camera and we can just talk about our memories making that, because that was a lot of fun. That was so much fun. Just getting an opportunity to just get out there and really push for to and we filmed that thing in about 5 hours in a dried up riverbed, and by the end of shooting it, we're just laying in under a shaded tree for like a good 30 minutes, just kind of resting and drink. We're just sitting there, just looking through our phones and kind of relaxing, trying to, catch our breath, because we were just like it was almost like we had overexerted ourselves with this, because at one point Robert got punched in the face. I instant transmissioned into the movie. It was crazy. It was a crazy video that we had no script for, by the way. We didn't write a script. We just went out there and just made stuff up as we went along, We had a basic kind of outline of what we wanted the video to be. But we didn't have a script. We didn't have dialogue or anything like that. We just kind of made dialogue up as we went along. It was almost like a bunch of friends at the improv. It was almost like 3 friends up on stage doing a scene at the improv, that we just were making stuff up as we went along. And that was fun. That was so much fun. And I still love that blooper reel. I think that's one of the best things I've ever made, was the blooper reel. The blooper reel, I think, was one of the most fun things I've ever made because it was like, it's just, we captured all these moments of us just being so goofy and so ridiculous. At one point, Robert's trying to deliver this line, and Austin. I think we've shared this story publicly before, so I'm not betraying any trust. At least I hope I'm not. But he goes out. Austin had to go use the bathroom, and there was no restroom nearby. So I just said, "Hey, go in that bush. Just go in that bush over there. I'll film Robert's part of the scene." So I go and I film Robert's part of the scene. Austin is off camera, just far out in the distance, going to do his business in a bush, and all of a sudden, we could hear him going to the bathroom. And Robert's just like, Zeke just told me to come here, bring an axe, be a good time. Oh my god! That was one of the funniest moments ever. One of the funniest things I've ever heard in one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. And then, and then Robert's improvs, like Robert's improvs, including like, hey Marshmallow, hey Twinkie, hey Stay Puff. Like, it was just like, all the other random stuff that he was coming up with, like Zeke told me to come out here, bring an axe, be a good time, kind of like back in Arabia. This isn't Arabia, is it? We just had so much fun making it, so much fun putting it together, and when it finally went up, I just remember getting so many people texting me going, "Oh, you guys did a great job with that. You guys did a great job with that." And I remember. Again, I don't think I'm portraying any trust. I don't think I'm betraying any trust here, but because I think I've said this publicly before. But I remember one of Robert's family members texted me going, "Thanks for killing Robert." And I was so confused by that. I was like, "Wait, what?" It's like, "Oh, I saw you guys. I saw your video." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "What happened?" But it was yeah, that is, I think, still to this day, I don't think any video I've ever made has ever topped that. Just based on how much fun we had making it, we were just laughing and having a good time. Like, I don't think I've ever had another experience making something like that. I don't think I've ever had another experience. Like, even filming the short film I just put up, Life is Beautiful, or like What to Watch, even End of the Line. I don't think any of those other short films topped what I feel like based on just the amount of fun I had making War for the Geeks. That was just so much fun. That was so much fun. Like, even when I was trying to shoot the Passion for Film the first time around, that was fun, but not as fun as it was filming War for the Geeks. War for the Geeks was a whole other level of just like so much fun. I just like I don't think any other video I've ever made has topped how much fun that was. But now I guess I'll talk, and I've gone really long here. It's about 38 minutes, but I don't care. This was going to be a long video regardless. But let me talk real quick about the future of the channel. The channel is still going. I told myself that I was going to keep reviewing movies. I made this promise to myself about 5 years ago that the only way I would stop reviewing movies if the wheels fell off. And for me, the wheels haven't fallen off yet. I still feel the love for film. I still feel that passion. I still feel that desire to want to review movies. So I'm going to continue to review movies. I'm going to continue giving you guys my opinion, good or bad. as far as the podcast goes, let me rip the Band-Aid off here. Um, the Zeke Said So show is done. It's done. I have not. I don't think I've told Michael this yet, but the podcast is done. Um, Whereas the YouTube channel kind of fluctuates as far as views go. It kind of fluctuates depending on what I do. Um, and also, the YouTube channel, the videos are just more fun for me to make. I don't get a lot of enjoyment out of the podcast anymore. So the podcast is done. Now that's not to say I'll never upload another podcast related thing again. Obviously, I'll put audio versions of like our spoilers discussions if we ever do spoilers reviews. We were supposed to do one for Fantastic Four, but that didn't pan out well because I have crappy internet. Um, um, but the podcast, the Zeke Said So show, comic book movie news, all these other comic book movie, whatever. Um, it's done. It. That one is where the wheels did fall off after almost 6 years of doing the podcast. The wheels did fall off on the podcast. We made an attempt to keep it going, but the wheels did fall off. But the YouTube channel is still going. I'm still gonna keep continuing the YouTube channel. I got more reviews coming. The rewatches for the Marvel films, I still gotta do some of. I still gotta do those. Probably continue those next year. I'll probably continue those next year as we build toward the hype for Spider-Man: Brand New Day. I'll kick those back up, and maybe I'll start reviewing the Disney Plus shows after, and maybe I'll start doing the Disney Plus shows now that I've almost caught up with the movies. Maybe once the movies are over, maybe I'll go back and do the Disney Plus shows, or I might just pick another franchise and do rewatch reviews of that. Maybe I'll do like the Rocky franchise next or something. Actually, you know what? That doesn't sound like a bad idea. That actually does not sound like a bad idea, doing the Rocky franchise next, because I have a deep love for the Rocky franchise. I do have a deep love for the Rocky franchise, so maybe the Rocky franchise could be next. And then we'll let the DCU kind of build. Maybe I'll do the DCEU after the Rocky franchise. I don't know, but the YouTube channel is going to keep going. It's going to keep moving forward. To quote Meet the Robinsons, keep moving forward. But the podcast is done. The podcast is done because I got a lot of stuff on my plate now, guys. I'm now more busy than I ever have been before. Taking more classes. I'm taking more classes in school. I am furthering my knowledge in film, and I'm very excited to do that. But I really think that the thing I'm most looking forward to is just doing more short films. I uploaded the short film Life is Beautiful, and I got a lot of really good messages from a lot of people who saw it. Some of them were like, that was so amazing, that was so good, really, really good job, and that was a very personal movie for me to make. It was very, but and the reality is that was actually a school project. The reality is that was actually a school project. That was we had to do our version of a montage sequence And so that was what that was. But I looked, but I saw it, and I was like, you know what, this really stands on its own as a really good short film, and I think I'll upload it to YouTube, and I did. Got a copyright strike, got a copyright claim on it. I did get flagged with a copyright claim. Thanks YouTube for your ridiculous rules. I did get flagged with a copyright claim on it. But hopefully, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But I did. But I also have another one that is going to be uploaded. I'm going to put another one up there. And that one is coming out right around the Halloween season. So be on the lookout for that. Maybe on Halloween. What day does Halloween land on? Let me see. What day does Halloween land on? That's a... Oh, good. That's a Friday. Okay. Well, that is awesome to know, because I'm going to... yeah, I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna put that short film up for you guys, because that's a kind of a horror film that I like a spooky film that I will be putting up there on the YouTube channel. But yeah, that's the future of where Zeke Said So is going. Overall, guys, I just have to say thank you, thank you. The first people that I should thank is my imaginary girlfriend. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. I don't have, I'm single. I am single. But no, the people that I should probably thank first is my family. Mom, dad, and I have siblings who were around when I started the channel, and who were very supportive of that, despite the fact that I was doing YouTube videos whether we had company over at the house or not. I was still making YouTube videos during that time, staying up super late hours editing YouTube videos. So yeah, and but they were they have been, and they continue to be supportive of what I'm doing with YouTube and podcasting and all that kind of stuff. So I thank them for first. They're the first people I feel this need to kind of thank. I also want to thank some of my friends who have appeared on the channel over the course of these 10 years, including Michael, Robert, Austin, and my old friend. My old friend Raven actually used to appear on one of my good friends, who I'm still friends with to this day. Raven had first appeared on my was the first friend of mine to appear on my YouTube channel, but then Robert obviously became was a mainstay for a little bit, and then Michael obviously is kind of a mainstay on the channel. So yeah, so thank all of them, and then even thank the friends who weren't on the channel, but they were involved in helping me with certain videos, like my good friends, Roxy. I have some friends who are no longer with us here, Mikey, Ian, and Liz, who all were very supportive in the things that I was working on with the channel and the podcast. And most importantly, thank you guys. All 513 of you. 513 subscribers over the course of 10 years. That's where we are at 10 years. hopefully 10 years from now we'll be at 2 million. No, I'm kidding. We won't be at 2 million by the next 10 years. But thank you for all 513 subscribers who have been watching, who have been following for however long as you've been following. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. If you've been subscribed for me since the beginning, thank you. And I apologize for you watching all those cringy videos that I can't even look at anymore. Thank you so much for that. I can't even begin to tell you how grateful I am and how blessed I am to be able to sit here, stand outside of the movie theater, just talking about movies with you guys. I can't even begin to even remotely believe just how blessed I am. You know, it is literally a blessing that I can continue to do this. It's not a full-time job for me, obviously. It doesn't pay my bills, but it's something I'm very passionate about, something I get a kick out of, and movies have always been an important part of my life, and I am so glad that I'm very happy that I've been able to do this for 10 years. And the fact that I kept it going for 10 years. A lot of people will start a YouTube channel and will work on it for a couple years and then just stop. But I was not one of them. I started it and I just couldn't stop doing YouTube videos. I will continue to do them. But finally, after almost an hour of me talking to you guys, that will do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, welcome. If you guys like the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I think I should subscribe to the channel because the Geek said so. And also, don't forget, when you subscribe, please click on the bell icon. I keep forgetting to say this part because this part is also very important, because the YouTube algorithm will not notify people on videos unless you click the bell icon. Here, I'll look. So if you go to, you know what? Let me go to a separate thing here. So if you go,
we're going to have a...
Nope, that's the wrong thing. If you go to my YouTube channel, let me just go click here. There's the channel. If you go to the channel and you hit subscribe, click on that bell icon. That's right there. Click on the bell icon once you subscribe, because that means when you'll click it and it'll say like notifications, all, personal, or none. Click all. That way you guys can get notified of every video I put up. Again, it really does help the algorithm, and it helps more people see my videos. And also, when you like the videos and you share the videos, that also helps too, guys. That helps more people see it, and that helps more people put their eyes and attention to this wonderful thing we have going on here. But that will do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys like the video, please make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe. I think you guys should subscribe to the channel because Zeke the Geek said so. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.